So very good morning, dear student. Welcome back in today's online science class. So dear student, in today's class, we start our second chapter, that is nutrition in animals. As we all know that everybody you know that in the first chapter we discuss about what the nutrition in plants. Then we discuss the two different mode of nutrition, that is the heterotrophs and autotrophs. Heterotrophs and autotrophs. Autotrophs means all the producers or the green plants can prepare their food by themselves, is known as the autotrophs. Heterotrophs means organisms they depends on the autotrophs for their food need, is known as heterotrophs. They are directly or indirectly they are getting water, means they cannot prepare their food by themselves. That's why they are depends on the others, means on the plants. In everybody that all the organisms need food, because food provides us energy, and energy is the basic requirement to perform all the activities, all the life process in all the organisms, either it is plants or animals. So the another type of mode of nutrition that we already discussed about the some organisms that can be live inside the body of other organisms or a host, or they depends on the others, and they can utilize their food, means they can derive their food from the other organisms like mosquito, like mosquito. So in their body, that type of organisms in their body, there will be no need of digestion, because they already take the digestive food from a host. So there will be no means of any digestive system or digestion. Directly they can get or obtain their food from others. So this type of mode of nutrition is called a parasitic mode of nutrition. Another type of some bacteria and fungi, they can get their food from dead and decaying materials. So that type of nutrition is known as that type of organisms is called the saprophytes, and the organisms which follow this type of nutrition is called what a saprophytic mode of nutrition. So this all we discuss in a first chapter about plants. But now in this chapter, as you know that the nutrition in animals, so here we are going to discuss in detail about the nutrition process, how this nutrition is taken place in animals, what are the steps, what are the process involved in this nutrition, how they can take in or intake their food, in what kind of forms they take their food. So now first we are discuss about the hologenic nutrition. In animals, means animals, there are when the animals take their food. So it start from what means first step is that intaking of food, means ingestion. This process is called what? Ingestion. Ingestion means intaking of food. Now after that it went to where it goes to the stomach, then digestion is taking place. Many digestive juice is related by the digestive tract. Many different parts are performing the different works for the digestion of food. Means this complex food, whatever we are taking, this complex or the large food, that break down into the simpler molecules or simpler form and soluble form or digestible forms, then it is digested by our body and release the energy. So now first you see that page number 20. First we are discuss about I'm going to explain something about this hologenic nutrition. Hologenic nutrition is a complex process involving ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and negation. Means these are the 5 different steps that involved in the process of hologenic nutrition. Because organisms is a true type of nutrition, you can say that in animals, in the organism like a human being, amoeba, they all follow this type of nutrition, which is known as what hologenic nutrition. So in this nutrition there are the different 5 steps. Means this whole process from this intaking of food to last finally when it exited from excrete out from removed from our body part, it involves these 5 steps and different steps and different processes going on, and then finally water getting the energy from that food material. So now see the hologenic nutrition. So everybody you see hologenic nutrition. Everybody see the page number 20. Human beings, cat, grasshoppers, amoeba and paramecium shows this a true animal like nutrition that is called what? Hologenic nutrition. Means they take the food into their body and in the form of complex molecules, and then after what, in their body this complex molecule is broken down into the simpler molecules. Now it is started from the mouth. The first step is taken from water ingestion. In this first process, ingestion will start from water, from where? From the mouth. Then the complex matter is broken down into the simple substance, and that is called water digestion. Means from mouth the food goes to where? In the stomach. So in the stomach the many enzymes are released there, and that complex substance is breakdown into the simpler forms. Then it's passed to where? The absorption, means this food is changed into the soluble substances. Okay, so the simple substances are taken by the body, means that is called the absorption. The soluble or simple complex substance is absorbed by the body. They may utilized for the energy or growth. Then that is called water, means whatever this simple substance is absorbed by the animals and it is utilized for the growth of and the development of a body by the animals. This is called water. The next step is assimilation, and finally this agitation, means whatever the waste material which is not useful for our body, undigested part, that will be sent out or removed from our body, that is called water, that is called agitation or excretion. So now first we are going to discuss about the hologenic nutrition in the amoeba. So you know that the amoeba, this amoeba is a unicellular organism, or even the single cell organism, so whose body is composed by only single cell. So this amoeba is a what? Unicellular organisms. This is what? Unicellular organisms. You know that unicellular organisms means the organisms whose body is composed by only single cell. Means all the process happen inside within the single cell or in a one cell. So hologenic nutrition in a amoeba. This amoeba have this outgrowth that is called a false leg or a pseudopodia. So whatever the food particles, suppose that this food particles comes near to the amoeba, so it forms some outgrowth. This is called what? False leg or a pseudopodia. So that food material is surrounded by this pseudopodia, and then after it engulfs this food particle in its body, and due to some digestive juices, whatever the nutrient present in that food particles, that will be utilized or sucked or digest, you can taken by this amoeba, and then it is released from its body. So this type of process is taking place in amoeba, by which it is derived their food materials or getting food materials. So amoeba is a microscopic single cell organisms found in the pond water. It has a cell membrane around dense nucleus and many small cavities called the vacuoles in its cytoplasm. The amoeba constantly changes its shape because it's irregular in shape. There will be no fixed shape for the amoeba. It's irregular in a shape, no fixed shape. It can change instantly its shape. When this amoeba the constantly changes its shape and position, it feeds on some microscopic organisms. When it senses the food, it pushes out the pseudopodia. Whenever there will be some sense, it feels like some food particles is near to its body. So then what happens? It pushes out its pseudopodia. This false leg is pushes out and it surrounds that food particles around the food particles and engulf it. The steps in the abiotic nutrition I will discuss below. So first in this process that is water. This step is water. This ingestion. Second step is digestion. Third step is absorption. Fourth step is assimilation. And fifth one is negation. So these are the 5 steps that take place or in the food process of digestion, or you can say in a nutrition of amoeba. In the process of nutrition of amoeba, it follows these 5 different steps. First is known as what? Negation. Negation means intaking of food. How it intake of food. So first it pushes out. See everybody in your textbook, page number 20. Negation, it pushes out one or the more finger-like projections called the pseudopodia or the false feet for the movement and capture the food. Means by engulfing by the surrounding the food particle by its false leg or pseudopodia, it intake or engulf food particles or microscopic particles. The food becomes trapped in the food vacuole. Then after that food particles is trapped by the vacuoles. Second step is digestion. It pushes the digestive juices are mixed with the food in vacuoles. Means that microscopic food particles went to where? Into the vacuoles. Vacuoles means bag-like structures. So there the digestive juice are attack on this that food particles, and they act on the food and then break down into the water simple substance. Means the digestive juice is already present in that food vacuoles. So they act on that food particles and that we change into the simple substance and that can be utilized by the this amoeba. Third process, absorption. Gradually the digested food is taken by the body, which in a single cell. Then after this digestive food materials, after the by action of this digestive enzymes that change into the simple substance and that can be utilized by the amoeba unicellular organisms. Assimilation, the absorbed substance are utilized. Then that substance, the simple substance molecules or simple substance break down from water complex substance that can be utilized by the amoeba for their body growth and development. And there are multiplications to increase their number and maintenance for maintaining their life process. This step is called what? Assimilation. So assimilation means the steps or process in which whatever the food or we digest or we utilize. So from that whatever the energy is formed or the substance things we are getting that can utilize for the development and growth of our body or life process, maintenance of life process, that is called what? Assimilation. Next, negation. Negation means just opposite to the ingation. Negation means intake and negation means to excrete out, to remove from the body, to release from the body. So last step, the undigested residues food expelled by the vacuoles, means it is excrete or removed from the body. Whatever the undigested part, useless part, that will be released from the body. Now next we are going to discuss about the different modes of feeding, means how the organisms feed their food. So first you note down this all 5 steps, then we further discuss the different modes of feeding. So please note down this one. So now next you see everybody at page number 21 of your textbook. We are going to discuss about the different mode of feeding. You everybody know that there are the different type of food habits, different type of food material, and organisms are taking in a different ways their food. Means the feeding process are different in different organisms, and that is a different and depends on what the nature of food, which type of food they are taking. So you can see that the first this here the one table is given that we are discussing here. We are going to what type of feeding process in which type of organisms is taken, which type of body parts develop for a particular type of feeding. Some have tube-like structure to suck the nectar from the flowers, to suck the blood from the other organisms. So there are the different body parts, like the organisms have all the human beings, and animals have the mouth. So the mouth parts are modified in different forms for feeding. Okay. So the mode of taking in a food varies in a different animals. Animals nutrition includes the nutrient requirement, mode of intake of food, and its utilization in the body. So different body parts, like you can see here, the many pictures is given here. The mosquito mouth parts, like tube-like structures, that is called the proboscis. So proboscis is a tube-like structures which is utilized by the microbes to suck the blood from the other organisms. And other body parts, you can see the butterflies. It have the proboscis to suck the nectars from the flowers. So now you see, first we are discussing about this table. Some animals, first the snail. It second the kind of food, means which type of food it utilized. So vegetation, and next the mode of feeding in snail is water chewing, simple by the process of chewing. Leaves, this is the blood sucked from the other organisms. Aquatic animals, they have the food material like a tiny food particles floating in the form on the water, that is called planktons. Planktons and zooplankton is there. So the small parts, they are the food material for the aquatic animals like whales and fish. So the mode of feeding in their body is what? The filtering and swallowing. Simply by filtering and by the swallowing food particles into their body. Human bird, this hummingbirds. Hummingbirds means it have the sucker part by the sucking by the process of sucking it take a nutrient or a food. Housefly means sponging or pouring the salivas over the food and licking the liquids. Ant, the cutting and the chewings in bite करती है अपने को insect cutting की process के through it can take its food. Snake, the small animals like rats and eggs, these are the food material for the water for the snake and the python. So it can, the feeding process means it can swallow the whole food particle is directly engulfed in their body, in the mouth. It is called swallowing. वो क्या करता है, swallow up कर देता है बॉडी में, ना फूड पार्टिकल्स को निगल लेता है ऐसे कैसे पूरा का पूरा. तो वो अलग अलग प्रोसेस सब में अपने फीडिंग की. ओके, सो वो डिपेंड करता है फूड मटेरियल पे और उनके किस टाइप के हैबिट है और किस पार्ट के बॉडी पार्ट्स दे हैव. ओके, सो ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दे develop the different habits. Okay, so in next class we are discuss about the nutrition in animals, in a human beings, how the nutrition is taken place in a human body. We are discussing in the details all the process which we discuss in amoeba. So for today, I think enough. In the next class, we discuss about the nutrition in a human body. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.